Nicole. Welcome to my channel, Oasis of Sage and Healing Waters. So, this is new for me. Feeling a little out of my element right now, my comfort zone. So, this is just an introduction video right now. I felt called to start this channel. At first, initially, it was a way of healing for myself. To kind of introduce myself or go back a little bit. So my name is Nicole. A little over a year and a half ago, I was diagnosed. Actually, let's back up. So not a year and a half ago, I got sick. It started out as pneumonia, or what they thought was pneumonia, and later on down the line, after months of enduring a dry cough, fever, tumors in my lungs, shortness of breath, night sweats, seeing several doctors, from pulmonologists, infectious disease doctors. They couldn't quite figure out what was wrong with me. And it was a scary time for myself and my children. And there was moments I would wake up and I'm just like, this can't be life. This can't be life. There was moments I would wake up and just want to cry, but I couldn't cry because I had to be strong for my children. I had to be strong for myself, because who else was going to be? So that went on for months. For months, I in and out of the hospital, hospitalized. I was a complex case, is all I kept hearing. They just could not figure out exactly what was going on. And then it got to the point that they're just like, we have to stop the treatment for pneumonia because all the antibiotics they were giving you is not working. You know, I had an allergic reaction to a couple of them, severe reaction. And so at this point, I'm just like, so I have to suffer while you guys try to figure this out. So I'm just basically just waiting. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. Months go by and I have the biopsy and just to rule out everything from bacterial infections to fungal infections to cancer to and everything just kept coming back as just normal. You're fine. It's like, how is this possible? Because I don't feel fine. I can't breathe. I used to be someone that likes going walking for 3 hours a day with my daughter. We go walk by the water because I love being by water. And I could not walk anymore. I could not walk up the stairs as normal. Like, I'll come home from work and I will go up the flight of stairs, and by the time I get to the second flight of stairs, because I was on the 3rd floor, I was literally out of breath. I could not breathe. And then did a biopsy, and that came back as being inconclusive. So they were like, the next step would be, open lung biopsy, which they were hesitant to do that, and that terrified me. So it was just back to waiting. And on top of that, being anemic, so my iron's low, so I'm lacking energy, even more energy now, and so tired. And so last year, then that was 2023, going to 2024. Then last year, I started coughing up blood. And I was coughing up blood I'm trying not to cry. I was calling up blood, and what kept running through my mind is, I'm not going to be here long enough to see my kids. Because the only thing that I want in life is for them to be okay. So that started happening. And at first it was dismissed. Like, oh, it's nothing. And I'm like, I don't think it's normal to cough up blood. And they're like, oh, it's not dark, it's just light, it's pink, so it's fine. But in my heart, in my spirit, I was like, it's not fine. And then it died down for a little bit. And then one of my favorite aunts had passed away in April. And it hit me so hard. And then like about a month later, it was my daughter's birthday weekend, and she was turning 21. And I'm saying this to talk about like some of the emotional things that was going on during that time, because life's still life, even when you had health problems, health issues going on. And her passing impacted me so much, because I'm really big on family. And then my daughter's birthday was like right afterwards. And so her memorial, our funerals ended up being held the weekend of my daughter's birthday weekend. And just so happened that same weekend was a weekend that I was graduating. I accomplished a goal, a personal goal that set out 20 years ago to get a degree, because I left school early, high school. I left, got my GED, tried to do college, nursing, and life just got in the way. I kept having put on hold, and my mom passed, and my children's father passed away, and that took a toll, and life just kept lifing, and things just kept happening. I'm all over the place right now, forgive me. It was just so much that happened, which later down the line I'll talk more about it, if God leads me to do that. And so I set out to accomplish this goal. I was like, let me pick this back up and finish it for my children, to show them how important it is to, when you set your intentions, even though life can sometimes be challenging, if it's something positive and something beneficial that can help you or others, don't give up. Don't give up. So I picked it back up, picked school back up, and kept going. And I was able to graduate last year. And that should have been like my proudest moment. And it was, for just that moment. Because then a few days later, I got sick again. And I was coughing up blood. And I was back in the hospital again. So my best friend flew up from Florida to be by my side. And at that moment I was like, oh, I'm fine. I'll be good. I'll be out of here. But on the inside, all I could think was like, am I at the end? Am I at the end? Like, did I do something wrong? I couldn't quite figure it out. So in that moment, they had to do a biopsy because they found more tumors in my lungs, and they couldn't find a source to like why all of this was happening. So once again, I felt like I was back in limbo, just waiting. So my friend stayed here for a few days by my side. I'm so grateful that thankful and grateful that she came. I needed that. And afterwards, when I was just waiting, I had to do some reflecting back on life and looking back to figure out, like, is there something that I'm overlooking? Something that maybe I'm missing? Something that maybe I'm not doing? So then 2024, when I started asking those questions, 2024, from that point going forward, became more focused on my healing journey, not just in the physical aspect, but holistically, all of it, mind, body, and soul. So I had to start learning how to take what, I don't want to say the trials that I was going through, maybe like the fear, the uncertainty, the pain, the trauma, all of that, the lack of trust I was starting to have the healthcare system, because it just felt like you're just another number, and that they have other people that they have to take care of or look after, and you only see a doctors for like 15 minutes and then they're gone, and you still gotta live with this every day. So those feelings I was wrestling with, going from being someone that did not put prescription drugs in their body, I was very adamant about that, to, which I'm going to insert that at some point here, having a counter full or bins full of just drugs. I didn't feel like myself. I felt lost. I felt confused. I felt angry on the inside. I felt an overwhelming sense of sadness. Started finding myself kind of sinking a little bit into a state of depression. The medication started taking a toll on my body because I felt like all the side effects. So it was just a lot of emotions and just feeling just charged, energy-wise, just charged during that time. Felt confused, lost. I'm thinking, so all I do is go to work and come home, and I just graduated, and this should be like a happy occasion, like, you know, setting examples for my children. But then I wasn't feeling that. I felt robbed, shorted. So then during that time, this is during the summer, the biopsy comes back and they're like, well, we have some good news, but not some good news. So we narrowed down to like 2 possibilities: sarcoidosis and vasculitis. And I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. But they're like, so which one is it? They're like, well, unfortunately, we can't narrow it completely down to just one, that's going to require doing open wound surgery, the biopsy, sorry. And we don't feel like we need to push you through that. But I'm just like, but is there another way? Like, just get an answer? Like, I would feel more comfortable having a definitive answer on, like, what exactly is going on in my body? Like, why is my body working against me? And they're just like, let's just start where we're at right now. You know, last year we didn't have an answer at all. This year we have 2 possibilities. But the good thing is we can treat both of them in pretty much the same manner. So they started me on prednisone, methotrexate, and yeah, those are really harsh on my body. Those drugs are really harsh on my body. But just like you had to stay the course, despite the side effects of the medication. And I'm just like, it seems like the side effects of the medication, there's more issues to come with that than what I've been dealing with. Then I gained all this weight from the medication. Then the shortness of breath started kicking in. And then they had to take me off. But then during that time, towards the end of the summer, well, I started getting lesions on my skin. And ended up back in the hospital. And then I'm like, here we go again. And come to find out, I also have pyoderma gangrenosum, PG, where you get painful ulcers on your skin. So I've been dealing with that since July of last year. And right now, currently right now, I'm in the middle of a flare-up, which isn't the worst yet. Every day, I wake up in pain. Every day. Every night. Can't sleep because I'm in so much pain. And when it first started last year, it was my lower back. And my God, that was bad. It was really bad. And now it's like my left side underneath my breast, going underneath my chest. If it's someone that's so used to doing things on their own and being independent and not having to rely too much on people if I don't have to, this has been a test. This has definitely been a test. But as that ain't no lie. Every day I kept getting up with a smile on my face, and I would go to work so I could go working more. Because my director one day was like, I see the pain all over you. She said, I don't know how you're doing it. You're so strong right now. And you don't have to be. But I don't know how else not to be strong. So she's like, go home. Because you're no good to anybody else. If you're not good to yourself, and your health is more important. Since then, that was a few weeks ago, every day I would wake up in excruciating pain, and it would hurt so bad. Like, so bad. No matter which way I turn, sometimes I completely forget that it's there, and I go reach for something and I start screaming. My kids have really came through and helped out a lot these past few weeks. And every week I would go to the doctor for my appointments and have to do wound care, and it was just so excruciating. I don't know how to describe it. But every time I go in there, I'll put a smile on my face and I'll just smile. And they're just like, we don't know how you're doing this. You come in every day with a smile on your face. You're so strong. We don't even know you know that you're strong. I was just seeing in that moment.